The sun is a bomb that never stops exploding. It's not what you think. Feynman explains why. Now that sounds dramatic, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It sounds like the kind of sentence you whisper while looking nervously at the sky. But let me ask you something very simple. When you hear the word bomb, what do you imagine? You imagine something that explodes once. A flash. A shock wave. Noise. Destruction. Then silence. Boom! And it's over. So how can the sun be a bomb that never stops exploding? If it were exploding like a normal bomb, we wouldn't be sitting here. The earth would be vapor, your coffee would be plasma, and I wouldn't be calmly talking to you. So something strange is hiding in that sentence. Let's begin with another question. What do you think the sun is, Dabidjan? Most people say, it's a giant ball of fire. That sounds reasonable, not it's bright. It's hot. Fire is bright and hot. So that must be it, right? But what is fire, Jif? If you light a match, what's happening? Is the match burning because it's full of fire, Jif? No, the match isn't made of fire. It's made of chemicals that rearrange themselves when heated. Oxygen from the air reacts with the material in the match head. The atoms shuffle around. Energy is released. That energy appears as light and heat. That's fire. It's chemistry. It's atoms rearranging. So if the sun were just a giant fireball, it would need oxygen. And there's no oxygen in space. Space is emptier than the best vacuum we can build on Earth. So the sun is not burning like wood. Already, the story gets interesting. If it's not fire in the ordinary sense, what is it? Now here's where people say, oh, it's nuclear fusion. And that's true. But that word sounds like something from a secret laboratory with blinking lights and complicated diagrams. Let's slow it down. Forget the fancy words. Imagine you take two tiny beads. So small you can't see them. So small that a speck of dust looks like a planet next to them. These tiny beads are pieces of hydrogen, the simplest stuff in the universe. Hydrogen is like the alphabet's letter A of matter. It's the simplest building block. Now imagine squeezing two of these beads together so hard that they stop being two beads. They become one slightly heavier bead. And here's the magical part. When they join together, a tiny bit of their mass disappears. Just a tiny bit. Where does it go? It becomes energy. Not by magic, by the rules of nature. The universe allows mass to turn into energy. And when you do that billions and billions and billions of times per second, you get the sun. So is the sun exploding? Yes and no. In the center of the sun, every second, unimaginable numbers of these tiny mergers are happening. Hydrogen becoming helium. Little pieces of mass becoming energy. Energy pushing outward in all directions. It's not a single blast. It's not a detonation. It's a constant, steady, balanced roar. Like a pressure cooker that never bursts. Now here's the part I love. Why doesn't it explode itself apart? If it's constantly releasing energy, why doesn't it blow up in one grand cosmic bang? The answer is balance. Gravity. Gravity is the quiet hero of this story. Gravity is pulling everything inward all the time. Every bit of the sun is pulling on every other bit. Imagine you have an enormous crowd of people all grabbing each other and pulling toward the center. That's gravity inside the sun. Now imagine in the very center, these hydrogen atoms are fusing and releasing energy that pushes outward. So you have a tug of war. Gravity pulling in, energy pushing out, and they are perfectly matched. Not almost matched. Not sort of balanced. Balanced so precisely that the sun has been stable for about 4.6 billion years. Think about that. 4 billion years. That means before there were trees, before there were dinosaurs, before there was oxygen in Earth's air, the sun was already shining like this. Steady, patient, reliable. If gravity were just a little weaker, the sun would swell up. If the fusion reactions were just a little stronger, it might blow apart. If gravity were stronger, it would collapse inward. But here we are. Well, if you gathered enough hydrogen here on Earth and compressed it the way the sun does, you would create something like a hydrogen bomb. A hydrogen bomb works by triggering fusion suddenly, violently, in a fraction of a second. All that energy released in an instant. That's the difference. The hydrogen bomb is fusion out of control. The sun is fusion under control. The sun is a bomb that never stops exploding because it never explodes all at once. It explodes gently. Isn't that a strange idea? a gentle explosion. But that's exactly what it is. Every second, the sun converts about 4 million tons of mass into energy. 4 million tons, that sounds terrifying. But spread across the size of the sun, which is so big you could fit more than 1 million Earths inside it, it's calm. It's steady. Now let's make it personal. The light hitting your face during the day started in the core of the sun, but here's the twist. It didn't come straight out. The energy created in the center of the sun takes a very long time to reach the surface. Not minutes. Not hours. It can take tens of thousands of years. The energy bounces around inside the sun like a drunk person trying to find the exit in a crowded stadium. Up, down, sideways, absorbed, re-emitted, scattered again. Eventually, maybe after 100,000 years, it reaches the surface. Then it travels across space to Earth in just 8 minutes. So the sunlight warming your skin might have begun its journey before humans built the pyramids, before recorded history. And now it lands on your face. You are literally being touched by ancient starlight. Now, let's zoom out. The sun is not special. That may sound insulting to the sun, but it's true. There are hundreds of billions of stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way, and there are hundreds of billions of galaxies. Each star is its own version of this never-ending bomb. Some are bigger, some smaller. Bigger, some smaller. Bigger. Some live fast and die young in spectacular explosions called supernovae. Some glow quietly for trillions of years. Our sun is somewhere in the middle. Not dramatic. Not extreme. Just steady. And here's something that always gives me goosebumps. Every atom in your body heavier than hydrogen was made in a star. The carbon in your cells. The oxygen you breathe. The iron in your blood. Those were forged in stars that lived and died before our sun was born. So when we say the sun is a bomb that never stops exploding, we are really saying something deeper. We are the products of ancient explosions. We are made of stardust. But here's the part I find even more beautiful. The sun doesn't decide to shine. It doesn't try. It doesn't struggle. It simply obeys the laws of nature. Gravity pulls inward. Fusion pushes outward. And in that tension, in that balance, light is born. Maybe that's a metaphor for something. Balance creates stability. Pressure creates transformation. Under enough pressure, hydrogen becomes helium. Under enough pressure, maybe confusion becomes understanding. Now let's address the fear. Will the sun explode, David? Not like a bomb in the sky. In about 5 billion years, the sun will run low on hydrogen in its core. Gravity will begin to win. The core will shrink. The outer layers will expand. The sun will become a red giant. It will swell so large that it might swallow Mercury and Venus, maybe even Earth. That's not next year. That's so far in the future that human civilization as we know it will likely be unrecognizable. The sun is stable on human timescales, extremely stable. So when someone says the sun is a bomb, you can smile and say, yes, but it's the most stable bomb in the universe. It's a bomb balanced by gravity, a bomb powered by mass becoming light, a bomb that has allowed oceans to exist, plants to grow, life to evolve, and you to sit here wondering about it. And here's the final twist. Without that controlled explosion, there would be no energy source for life. Plants use sunlight to build molecules. Animals eat plants. You eat plants, or you eat animals that ate plants. Every movement you make is powered by sunlight that left the sun 8 minutes ago, or perhaps began its journey 100,000 years ago in the sun's core. So the sun is not just a bomb. It's a giver, it's a steady furnace, it's a cosmic engine. It's a reminder that enormous power can exist in perfect balance. And I find that comforting, because the universe is not chaos everywhere. It has structure, it has rules, it has rhythms. The sun teaches us that immense forces can cancel each other in just the right way to create something stable and beautiful. Gravity says, come inward. Fusion says, go outward. And in between we exist. Now I want you to imagine something. Tomorrow morning when the sun rises, don't just see light. See balance. See billions upon billions of tiny unions happening in the heart of a star. See mass turning into energy. See gravity holding everything together. Not see ancient photons, finally escaping after wandering for thousands of years. See the deep history of the universe arriving quietly on your doorstep. The sun is not a fire. It is not a simple explosion. It is a delicate equilibrium of unimaginable forces. A bomb that never stops exploding because it never explodes all at once. And perhaps that's the lesson. Power doesn't have to be loud. Transformation doesn't have to be sudden. The universe can do its most extraordinary work quietly, steadily, patiently, over billions of years. And here we are, tiny creatures on a small planet, able to understand that. That may be the most astonishing part of all. The sun burns, gravity pulls, atoms fuse, light travels, and somehow matter arranged itself in such a way that it can look up at the sky and ask how. That's you. That's us. We are the universe becoming aware of its own steady explosion. And if that doesn't make you feel both small and magnificent at the same time, I don't know what will. So the next time someone says the sun is just a ball of fire, you can gently say, no, it's something much stranger. It is a bomb that never stops exploding. And because it never stops, because it balances perfectly between collapse and catastrophe, we get another sunrise. And another. And another. And another. And another. And another sunrise is powerful beyond imagination. But it is also exquisitely balanced. And in that balance, life is possible. And in that life, curiosity is possible. And in that curiosity, we discover that even a bomb in the sky can be a source of wonder rather than fear. And that, to me, is the most explosive idea of all.